What's up? It's your boy. Now, I better put that back on. I'm kind of in a low light situation, so don't mind me for using this. But I'm going to show you guys today how to replace your old thermostat with the new fancy schmancy, whatever it is, thermostat. This one happens to be a Google Nest. Now, I'll be honest with you, I already unboxed this. I unboxed it a while ago. I tried to install this on a camper, and it just wouldn't take because the camper, even though it's a newer camper, just has a different system. So this is basically plug and play. And what I mean by that is you're just going to cross over the wires, how they are here, onto the old unit to what you have here. This actually isn't it. These are two-part. And I'll show you what comes in it. Here's the nice face, and this will light up all pretty and all that. And then here's the actual brain. You know, this connects the wiring to it, and then that plugs into that, and now you're in business. You also have a couple of screws, and that's because they're gonna, put the new plate on, and then you have the batteries. These all have battery backups. I don't know if you can see that. I suggest that you turn off your furnace. It's middle of winter right now, so I kind of have to do this quickly here. But turn off your furnace, and I went a step further and turned it off at the breaker as well. You can still see the dial there, and that's because these have a battery backup. It's still registering, and that's because you have to pull it off with some force. They don't just pop off easily. They're not meant to. You can see the battery for backup right there. Now you can also see the wires that I'm talking about. So you're gonna need a really small screwdriver, like a small Phillips. No, small flathead. That's why I got this. Small flat. And put this aside for now. See how that plugs in to that. And that's the business right there. So, that's not the instruction. That's some warranty stuff. Maybe there was a instruction guide before, but I have thus since lost it. But this is what you really want. This right here tells you what the install is about. I haven't really read it. Nest Pro, blah, blah, blah. I usually just want these. These are going to show me where these are. So when I'm going to tag this wire, right? And I'm going to disconnect the wire. It's going to hang there so that I know when I disconnect Y, that's Y. When I come up with my new, it's going to say Y or G or C or whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and plug that into the coordinating receptacle there. And it looks like these are just plug. Looks like. You don't have to screw these down, but these are screwed down. And of course, it's screwed in there. I need to grab a couple of tools. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Oh, yes, I am. All right. And I feel like I should start by tagging these. Usually you have a little more room coming off of, they push the wires back in the wall. So just pull them out slightly, real gentle. I've got 4 here. They're connected to the C. Oh gosh. CW. I'm sorry, folks. I need a better light. CW, Y, and R. Bad vision and bad lighting. Bad combo. There seems to be a very hard time to get a good balance with this light. Good thing I got the light because that's actually G, W, Y, and R. So difference between a C and a G could be huge here. So might have to dim these lights somehow. Get this figured going on here. Try one more thing. Okay, now I've found a balance. First one down here, wrapped in green, but it's red here, is the G51. G51. Okay. So that's G. Gonna go here. Yeah. Just close it on itself. Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to stick. G W. Touch it a bunch of times and then make sure it's still sticky. Hold on a second. You know, and I could do this one at a time. And they do trust that method. One at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that off. I've already got my G marked. This is my W. So that's trusted, right? One at a time. I'm going to pop this one off. That is my Y. Make sure you're taking off the correct one. 1, 2, 3 down is Y. 1, 2, 3 down is white. This white one is Y. Even though I have it off, you still don't want to chance anything and cross anything. Just keep it separate. Keep it safe. 1,000. Okay. Y. Last one should be R. That's the very top one here. Aura. And what you have left is some funky little stickers, whatever. Actually, it tells you heat. And so if it was multiple systems, I'm guessing that's why it would have W1, Y2, whatever. Okay. Oops. One left to disconnect. That one's out. There's nothing wrong with this thermostat, folks. I'm not going to throw this out either. Maybe I'll put this in the fish house. I have a dial one in my fish house, so there's not even a dial. It's a freaking lever. So maybe I'll put this in the fish house. Why not? So I already see an issue. It's not going to be a great thing going on here, but obviously we have square, round. It's not going to fit. I could keep this, you know, why not? I think that looks fine, and I'm going to, because otherwise I'm going to have, you can see the paint that didn't make it. So I'm going to keep this for now, but just realize that that's going to be an issue for you later. This was obviously for that, and this wasn't. And this doesn't look very clean. I'd like to just pop that off. Should I? I don't know. See, so this one would go over, right? Thread all those through there. Okay. Got your screw holes there. So that's going to be an issue for me. Looks like I am going to pop that off because I don't want to deal with going through that. So just going to go ahead and, easier than I thought. Okay, looks like that was how they also had their screws for receptacles. I'm not gonna like that. It's gonna make mine look like crap. Let's see, you know. But you can't do much about this because this is where it is. So maybe I'll put it up here centered, come back, and I'll have to do a patch job or something. It's kind of quick and dirty. Hate to say that, hate to do that. But I'm kind of on borrowed time right now. I should have been on the road, and I still am not. Hopefully there's a stud back here. This is an old wall. This looks like drywall, but I can't imagine that there's not something back here that, you know what, I have a stud finder. I don't, see See the mark there? I'm not going to get my stud finder. I'm just going to screw it into this. If it doesn't hold, I'll have to put some of those in there, so we'll see. Let's see what happens. You can go with their screws, which are kind of some big ones. And when you're making, or when you're doing a project like this, new construction is basically the best way to go. You can have a stud, you know, by where you're going to locate this. I'm going to put the bottom one in first. Go right on that line. I know it's like, I don't want to go ham, okay? You'll hear that a lot from me, but I don't want to go ham. Hard to see that bubble. And that's why I don't want to go ham. You can make that adjustment, and now you can tighten that up. Okay. So now we go back to this part, and here I have my G. I'm just going to straighten this out because it has kind of a little bend in it. And G is up here. So feed this in, kind of like a speaker receptacle. I'm sure plenty of people have experience with that. Recording. So G, give a little tug, G is secure. Y. Why? Why is the top one on this side? Excuse me for blocking if you can't see. You can see it stays depressed and these are up, so kind of gives you an indication that it's being held in there. Just give it a little pull, it's good. Ara, right under the G here. You can see that. Okay. One thing you might have to do, and I'm not having to do it here because they're stripped far enough, but maybe they were stripped for a certain length for the other machine or the other thermostat. Here we go with W. And so then you might have to deal with that, you know, but it's not bad on this at all. The bottoming, and looks like they're making, and the connections are covered, so W. Just check them real quick. W, R. No sense in not checking it. You're here now. What's a better time to do it than now? Okay, dun 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 dun. Moment of truth. I'm actually gonna go power it on first before I plug this in. So I'm just gonna pause this. Okay, it powered on, and because I don't see smoke and sparking, I'm gonna take that as a good sign. Unfortunately for you guys, once I power this on and plug it in, it's probably going to want to go through all of the setup, which I'm going to need my phone, and you guys are using it right now, so you're going to need that. And it's going to want to go through the startup with your Wi-Fi and your passwords and all that fun stuff. So hopefully this shows you a little something, and that's probably where I'm going to end my video. Okay, oh, look at that. Already came on with the battery. It's got a QR code. Probably going to want me to scan it with my phone. I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in now. You can always pull it off. Look at that, went right in place. You can always pull it off. Can't zoom in this mode. Fuck you. Continue setup in the Google Home app. Continúa con la configuración. Continúe es la configuración tan rápido. Continue setup in the Google Home app. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to end the video here. Happy learning.